Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here, and it has finally arrived! That's right, my Super73 RX bike has finally arrived! And I want to say it took almost 2 weeks to get here. It's been in the local area for the last 3 days, but they schedule your delivery, so it was sitting in a warehouse 20 miles away. I guess I could have went in and picked it up myself? Yeah, I don't know. I have some very specific plans for this bike. I'm not a environmental e-bike riding kind of guy, but I wanted this for silent off-road running. I had considered the Honda Ruckus. They're kind of cool. I guess I could have got one of those Dumb and Dumber mini bikes. They're always fun. But I wanted something silent, so when I ride out into the woods, when we're doing filming or photography or checking game cams, that we're not scaring every animal in the region away. So that's why I wanted to go electric. And if you remember the story about how I bought my first quad, it was a 600 Yamaha Grizzly back in 2000 when the Yamaha Grizzly was the biggest utility quad out there. I think there was a sand quad that was a 700cc. But if you don't know it, what happened was I was working night shift, and then I was looking at a magazine and looking at quads. I never even considered getting one again, and then you know how it is, you're not thinking right, because it's nighttime. I should get that. So right after work, no sleep, I go down to the Honda dealer, and I'm looking at, the Bear, Big Bear, whatever it was $3,000. And by the time I was done, because for $500 or $600 more, I could have this option and this option and this option. I walked out of there with the most expensive one. It was like $69.99, so $7,000, when I was originally looking at spending $3,500. But I told you that so I can tell you this. When I was looking at electric bikes, they make a small one. It's the Z series. It's like $1,600 or something, and it's about the size of a Ruckus. And wow, that's cool. But then when you look at the step up and you just keep going, well, for an extra $500, you can have this option, and this option, and this option. And by the time it was said and done, I ended up with this RX model because it has both front and rear suspension, because if you're going to be doing video from it, you want a smooth as ride as possible, right? It has extra brakes. It has 4 hydraulic piston brakes instead of the cheaper model 1 level down, which only has 2. And what was disappointing is it only comes in 2 colors, red or gray. Now there is the model below it, and I believe it was the R model, so it'd be the Super 73R. That comes in a really cool color, comes in a really cool olive drab green. But the problem is it didn't have a headlight. It was a aftermarket headlight kit you'd have to put on there. And it only had the 2 piston brakes. And since I'm going to be riding this off-road, I wanted the extra braking power, because this is more an electric motorcycle than it is an electric bicycle. It doesn't have the power of, a true electric dirt bike or electric motorcycle, but it definitely is not a bicycle. All right, so as we see here, there's going to be some assembly required. Oh, man. I guess I should have known it. It was probably in the fine print. And since there's no dealers around here, it had to be shipped from California. It's kind of disappointing. Well, so much for just jumping on it now. You got to put the handlebars on it, and it looks like you got to put the pedals on it, and there's probably some other stuff you got to do too. Oh, you got to charge it up. It takes 5 to 6 hours to charge. So we're not going to be taking this out today. I don't even know if we're going to charge it up today. I'm going to get the handlebars assembled. If I don't have time to do it today, I'm going to have to do it next couple days. And then we'll get this out and see what happens. So let me tell you about the features of this model, the Super 73 RX. It's $34.95, so it's $3,500, and it cost $150 to ship it to me. So you're at almost $3,700. Like I said, it's their top of the line. It comes in red or gray. Remember, I went with gray because I don't want red. I'm, in the woods. I wanted the green, but it's not an option in this model. It's got a 960-watt battery. It's got a 40-mile range. This bike is set up to ride in Class 2, so that's limited at 20 miles an hour. And why is it limited at 20 miles an hour? Because at 20 miles an hour, it's not considered a motorcycle. You don't have to have a motorcycle endorsement. Yes, I have a motorcycle endorsement, but you don't need one for this. And you can ride it in bike lanes, and you can ride it in bike paths, because it's not a motorized vehicle. It's a bicycle. Then there's Class 1 mode, and then there's Class 3, and then there's like an unlimited mode. but it comes standard in the Class 2, and you can change it. And the Class 1 and 3 have to do with the speeds if you're pedaling with the motor, too. I don't want to talk about the cons about it yet, but the bike is so heavy, and the riding position is such that you're not going to want to pedal this bike very much. And I don't have the desire to pedal it. This is an electric, really it's an electric ruckus as far as I'm concerned. It's an off-road motorized vehicle. It's going to be perfect for what I want to do with it. It has 5-inch wide, 20-inch tires. So you got the fat tire bikes. You see those a lot. I have never ridden a fat tire bike. They just do not look like they are easy to pedal. But yeah, this will be great for going off-road and in the sand. I guess I could have the foot pegs put on here, and I don't even have to put the pedals on because I have no intention of pedaling anyways. Yeah. Depending on where you look on the website, it has a different weight rating. The weight rating is 325 pounds in some places and then 275 in other places. I don't know. We're not pushing either of those weights, so it's okay. And then it has some extra fancy stuff. You have a smart display. You can Bluetooth it to your phone. There's an app. It's got some navigation. I have read nothing good about the navigation it uses. And really, we're not going to be urban adventurers with this, which is what they say this bike was designed. You know, for that hipster poser crowd who doesn't ride a motorcycle, but they want to ride a bicycle that looks like they ride a motorcycle through the city streets of, San Francisco. Look at me, I'm on a motorcycle. Yeah, no, that is not what this is. It's a bicycle pretending, a bicycle in motorcycles clothing? Yeah. Let's talk about the cons. Well, the cons, I already mentioned, the color, the cool color isn't, available, isn't an option in this model. The headlight, the really cool one, isn't an option in this model. All these cool things that I wanted were on cheaper models. And then your riding position is more motorcycle-esque than bicycle. This would not be a comfortable pedaling kind of bike. And of course, last but not least of the cons is the dang thing doesn't come fully assembled. You spend $3,700 on something and it ain't fully assembled? Oh, man. I mean, I wanted them to deliver it, and then I was going to jump on it and zoom all around, and yeah, I guess that's not how it is. So instead, it's going to go in the garage. Yeah, don't come by my house and steal it. It's going to go in the garage, and I'm not going to be able to use it yet. Now, something else that's a pretty big disappointment is it has GPS and anti-theft capabilities, but that's an option. What does that mean? It's not an option you can order. It's some aftermarket thing. It just has a plug-in to hook that into it. You think for $3,700, especially since they're going to their main market is urban posers, where your bike's going to get stolen, you would think they would have the GPS and anti-theft stuff automatically, on it, or at least a factory option. All right, so when we get a chance to take this out, I'll probably do a video of it. And then hopefully I can start using this to access more of the cameras we have up in the woods, because right now, with 16 plus cameras up in the woods, it's kind of a project to get up there to them. But with this, it's going to be a lot easier, and we can get some cameras deeper into the woods. Alright, so have you ever heard of the Super73? Do you like the cool retro motorcycle look? I do. But can you maybe see how this is a skinny jean poser type bike who's never been on a motorcycle thinking, I got a motorcycle, and I'm helping the environment because it's electric. Yeah. Alright, so leave your comments in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.